Hello and welcome. I'm Paula Strupek-Gardner, and I promised that I would share with you a couple of ways that you can chant the word Om. Om is called the primordial sound. It is sometimes thought to be the source of all languages, and there's a variety of ways to approach it. My story is that I chanted in classes that I attended or in groups that I was part of, but I never really did any chanting in the classes that I was leading until I was working with a group of cancer survivors and patients and their caregivers. And I started doing some research on sound therapy because it's always been near and dear to my heart. And I found several articles that supported the notion that chanting or singing helped stop the growth of cancer cells. Maybe not to reverse them, but to stop them in their tracks so that they didn't grow any further. I thought that was pretty fascinating, and so I began chanting with my group of cancer people and thought, you know, why not use this as a preventive measure? And so I brought it to my regular yoga classes, and most of the time we end with a chant. Those who wish to participate do, and if they do not, I always invite them to simply listen, because that's also part of our sound therapy and healing. So I'm going to share with you what I started, the very first Om that I learned, and how it evolved for me, because it's actually very interesting. Now I'm going to remember to put the microphone on so you can hear me. It's actually very interesting because what started out as Aum, three different syllables, first thinking ah, then oo, then became something a little bit different as I started recognizing and realizing and feeling what my body was doing as I was doing it. So if you're doing this in the privacy of your own home, you can be loud. You can let your voice make space for you. In fact, you could even go into a closet if you're afraid to do it in front of other people. Just let it be your voice that comes through. In another video, I'll talk about how important it is to our own sense of well-being and our sense of worthiness and our sense of value that we hear our own voice speaking positive things. It's a related but different topic. So sit comfortably. The voice and the mouth really are musical instruments. And so I encourage you that if you're seated in a chair, to sit forward toward the edge of the chair. And if you're sitting on the floor, to prop yourself up a little bit with a pillow or blankets so that your pelvis is tilted slightly forward. The belly button side is tilted a little bit more forward. It's a little more comfortable for your lower back, and it allows the whole front of your body to lift up without you having to tell your body to do that. When we get out of the way of our body and listen to its wisdom, we do so much better. In any case, sit comfortably, and we'll breathe in and out and in, and then and with that exhale, we'll begin chanting. What I invite you to do is start with your mouth wide open, ah. And as you produce sound, as the breath comes out of your body, very gently, slowly change the shape of your mouth until as you go, you'll be like this. And then your lips will touch. You'll know why I'm inviting you to do that without making any sound in just a moment. So you start really wide, and you very slowly and gradually begin making the opening a little bit smaller until you get to mm. And then you'll continue the sound with whatever breath you have left. And once you've finished the sound, keep your lips together as though you were saying mm, and just let there be silence. It will sound something like this. Did you hear how that changed? I did not change the sound inside of me. What I did was I changed the shape of my mouth. So let's play with it a little bit, because it's really fun to feel, to direct your body to doing something, following its path and listening to how the sound changes. This really is a musical instrument. So inhale. Exhale, inhale. Oops, I was going to do the other om. I'm so sorry. We're going to start with our mouth wide open for ah. Inhale, exhale, inhale. How did that feel? Let's do it again. This time we'll do it 3 times. And if you have either more or less breath than I have, adjust your mouth accordingly. So feel your breath as it's leaving the body and move your mouth in time with and in tune to the rhythm of your breathing. So if you're running, if you find that you have more breath than I do, then make your mouth, move your mouth a little more slowly than I am. If you find that you don't have as much breath, then move your mouth a little bit more quickly so that it's reflecting your breath, and the sound that's coming out is the sound that your breath is making. Let your breath become its song. So let's do it 3 times together. And don't wait for me. When you're out of breath, start again. Or if you're longer than me, I'll start before you, and you start in time with and in tune to yourself. And when you're finished, wherever you are, just pause. Let's begin. Inhale, exhale, inhale. I hope you find it as fun as I do to explore and investigate what happens inside the body when we change the outside of the body, and what the sound sounds like when we do all of those things. Aum. I was taught them as 3 separate syllables, which they are, but when you let the shape of your mouth change the sound, you hear how the sounds elide into each other. And it's really beautiful when we're in a group doing it together. So I hope you'll get a chance to join me sometime. Many blessings.